Alright, welcome back guys and girls. This is my review of the BSA R-10 in 22 caliber. I appreciate you guys for joining me, and we're going to take a look at this great rifle. Alright, so we'll start with the stock here. Give you a nice 360 view. The stock, as you can see, is really gorgeous. It's I believe it's walnut, and as you can see it has that this darker wood on it right here. That's rosewood. And they put the tip here, and then the butt cap of the pistol grip in rosewood, and I think it's a really nice feature. As you can see, really amazing grain in that. You can see that swoosh in there. You can see the high cheek piece right here, and again, just really nice wood grain. And then you can also see laser checkering right there. Very nice. There's also some checkering up here, as well as this little bit of a hump right here. And that's really nice actually for getting your hand around when you're shooting. Especially if you're offhand, it works very well. Very ergonomic, I suppose you could say. And alright, let's get started on the nuts and bolts of the gun. So in the front here, you can see there is a little end piece. This is actually essentially a thread protector for the 1/2-inch UNF threading that is provided. And I will tell you that the gun is pretty loud because the barrel that sits within the shroud here ends about right here. So there's not any room for baffling. So it does get pretty loud if you're firing it without anything on the end of it. But I have a 7.5-inch suppressor, silencer, lead dust collector, whatever you want to call it, that just screws right onto the end of this, and it actually helps a lot. It's got about 6 baffles in it, and it helps a ton in terms of quieting the rifle down. So as we move back, you can see we have the 200cc bottle. About the same number of shots as I got on my Super 10. I'd say 50 to 60 good ones depending on your range. Obviously, if you're further out, 50 yards or so, you're going to see a bigger drop sooner. So that's something to keep in mind as well. I will turn the gun over and give you a look at a new feature that BSA has put on this gun. They have included a pressure gauge and a quick fill for you. That's something BSA had not done prior to this rifle, and it's something I really like. As you can see, it's got a couple little marks in here. I know you can't read it, but it goes up to 250 bar, although I believe the recommended fill is about 232, which comes to somewhere in the realm of 3,300 psi. I want to say it's somewhere around there. I generally fill the gun to about 3,200, and that gives me, like I said, 50 to 60 good shots. And then the quick fill, there's a fill probe you just plug into this little hole right here, and you're good to air up, which is very nice. This rifle, unlike my Super 10, came with swivel studs installed, and I actually went ahead and put a bipod adapter railing on this. And on the front one, and I'll show you the rear. Here's the rear stud. And so that was a really nice feature as well that you see on a lot of the higher end guns. And I'm really glad BSA chose to do that, because while this gun is pretty light and easy to carry into the field, it is also nice to have that ability. So now I'm going to put the camera down and show you guys a little bit more about the way the action works on this gun. It's a little bit different, so give me a moment. Alright, now with the Super 10 there was a side bolt, but as you can see on the R10 we have a rear bolt. Turn that around so you guys can see it a little better. So you have your rear bolt cocking, and this bolt's actually pretty nice. The hammer spring appears to be the same, but it's a lot lighter when you are cocking it from the rear as you do on this gun. So that's a very nice feature. It's not half as difficult as the Super 10 is to cock. And it's a very simple pull You hear that click, that means you're cocked, the magazine has rotated, and then you just push it forward and you're good to go. The decocking procedure is exactly the same in that you're going to hold your bolt back and then just pull the trigger and slide the bolt forward. You heard that click, that means the gun is no longer ready to fire and cock, which is very, very nice. And I'll show you guys the safety on this. The safety, as you can see, is more of a hunter style. I made the comment in the review of the Super 10 that I didn't like the safety because it was all the way up here and out of the way. But this safety is much nicer. As you can see, it's just a little flip. And that, while it is a bit audible, if you were in the field, that can get, I guess, could spook a squirrel or whatever you're going after. But, it functions much better and it's easy to reach with your thumb. You can flip it either way. And I do not have very big hands, so for some of you guys that have larger hands, that would be much easier. So that's how that functions. The trigger is exactly the same as the Super 10. It is, again, I believe, 5 ways adjustable. You can adjust the position of the blade itself. You can also adjust the, the length of pull, your pull weights, and first and second stage adjustment as well. I'm going to show you now how to load up a magazine in this. And I got the gun stable there. So how you would load a magazine, here's your basic BSA magazine. As you can see, it's pretty much the same as the Super 10's magazine, except one gripe I do have with BSA is this magazine is plastic. The magazine on the Super 10 is fully metal. I've heard some guys had some issues with the plastic cutting some O-rings. I haven't had that issue yet. And I hope I don't, but regardless, metal always works best. So that's just one little thing I would say that probably annoys me the most about this rifle, but not a big problem. So I'll show you how to load that up. So you're going to cock your gun back. Now the gun is cocked and ready to go, and I'll bring the camera up close so you guys can see some things. Alright, so here, if you haven't noticed already, you have this little slot lever that you just click into place or out of place. And you can see in here, you see that little pop thing appear right there. That actually holds your magazine in place, which is a nice feature. Again, if you're walking around in the field, you might bump something, and if you happen to have your bolt cocked, I don't know why you would, but your magazine could fall out, which is something that you don't want to happen. And then another thing I'll show you, which is pretty unique to this rifle, is you can see the bolt actually extending out right there. And that's something that's very unique to this rifle. You do have to pull the bolt back to load the magazine a little bit further, and it can be tricky at first. There you can see that's pulled back and that's forward. Ooh. Sorry guys, missed that one. Apologize. You can see that's pulled back and there's your forward movement. So it's a very small amount of space, but without that you cannot load the magazine. I'll show you. As you can see, that's with it out. I can't fit that in there. That's where it stays. So I'm going to put you guys down again. There we go, that's good. So as you can see, if I pull the bolt back all the way, and just slide the magazine in, you're good to go, and then you just lock it into place, close your bolt, and you're ready to go. So, a little quirky, but once you figure it out, really not all that difficult. Just something that I guess could get in the way if you have multiple mags in the field and you really, really need to get to your second mag quickly. That'll hang you up a little bit. One last thing I want to show you guys is a group I shot with this. This group right here, here's a dime. I did put this the video of me shooting this group on YouTube, and I know I've gotten some comments, where's the gun, where's the gun? So, and now you can see it, but for those of you that didn't see it, Here is the 5-shot group I shot with, as you can see, JSB heavies. Those are the 18 grains, covered by a dime. And that was fairly consistent with this gun. You know, every now and then you let a couple get away from you, and I found that you know, if I take my time and really focus on each shot, I'm just fine with this gun, doing that kind of grouping consistently. And the scope I've been doing that with, actually, this is a Hawk 4-16 Eclipse side focus scope. It's a little heavy, but you got a larger side focus. It actually does go all the way down to 10 yards, which is really nice. A little closer than 10 yards, actually. But as you can see, it's a really nice scope. You got your illuminated reticle. It is a mil dot reticle, and one of the nicer mil dot reticles I've seen. Actually, the center dot lights up when you use the illumination, which is a cool feature. So that is the BSA R-10, and I'm glad you guys joined me for it, and I hope that you guys all liked it. And please comment, rate, subscribe, do all that good stuff. And I hope you guys like it, and I will have another review up soon. All right, thanks, guys.